News First, Newsline with Faraz Shaukat.
And a very good morning to you and a wonderful week ahead of all of us, we hope. This is Newsline, live as always from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo. And this morning, Newsline has got a few questions for a senior banker and a person quite familiar with various matters of investment and so on, Mr. Rusiripala Tenakon. He's right here with us. Very good morning to you, Mr. Rusiripala.
Good morning, Faraz.
Mr. Rusiripala, what's going on? With alarming regularity, we seem to be having mega projects, huge projects, where large parcels of land are being given out, and the investment, it's supposed to be foreign direct investment, foreign investment coming in. The latest appears to be a project that was inaugurated on the 24th of March down in Hambantota Way. What's going on about this oil refinery?
Yeah, there's much conjecture about this project owing to many reasons. One is that it is supposed to be a BOI approved project. Two, it is part of the mega projects that are to come in the industrial zone dedicated in the Birijovila for large scale industries to come in.
Yeah.
And thirdly, it is a project that has been described as one of the biggest ever with a foreign investment that has come to Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
So with all these factors, there is a lot of focus and attention on this project.
Yeah.
And according to what is in information that is in circulation,
Yeah.
there are certain very doubtful areas.
Yeah.
As we have experienced in many other instances.
Yes.
With regard to proposed projects under this government,
Yeah.
you know, especially involving foreign investment, there are many areas untold, unexplained, and creating serious doubts.
Right.
And the media very rightly has started questioning about it. I mean, that's the most important acceptable thing that can be done by the media is to bring to the notice of the public what really is going on, irrespective of the political coloration of laying foundation stones and, you know, like putting a fence around the land in Kuliyapitiya for the Volkswagen factory.
Yeah.
I mean, these are similar acts, you know.
Yeah.
People have been deceived many times. People have been, you know, told that many things are going to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened.
Yeah.
So in such a context, it is very important for people who have no other access other than what the media exposes in these such instances to be made aware as to exactly what is happening. Mm-hmm. So this is a right of the people that we are dealing with. So in this context, I looked into Faraz, you know, with the little information that is available to us, I mean, which is the information that is in circulation in elsewhere on this matter.
Yeah.
Now we find Mr. Malik Samaravikrama,
again,
the Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade, is submitting a cabinet memorandum on the 15th of February 2019.
Yes.
And that cabinet...
We need to pay attention to these dates, don't we? 15th of February.
Yes, I think it becomes very relevant in the context of many other revelations that are yet to come.
Yeah.
And also that we are going to deal with.
Yeah.
The point is, the issue is, on the 15th, a cabinet paper is submitted by the minister. It is really a cabinet memorandum. You know, virtually although at the end of the paper it says that it's seeking approval for certain things, you know, mainly for two things. It elaborates and refers to a previous cabinet paper that has been submitted on the 29th of March 2018.
Now, Mr. Rusiripala, I want to stop you for 1 second.
Yes.
Because these dates are very important.
Correct.
Now, you say that the cabinet paper, I've got a copy of it here. 15th of February.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, I have with me a copy of a letter dated the 12th of February. the 12th of February.
Yes.
From a company purporting to be Silver Park, Singapore.
Correct.
All right?
Yes.
And this company is proposing to make this big investment,
yes,
$3.8 billion.
Yes.
And I just noticed that its email address is merely a Gmail address.
Correct.
It doesn't appear to have a corporate email address.
Yeah.
That's small. That's a small detail.
Yeah.
But remember that when it came to the bond, if you remember, although Arjun Aloysius had resigned from the board of Perpetual Treasuries, his email address continued to be listed with the central bank on the central bank website until at least 3 months thereafter, until a network called Newsfirst pointed it out. Now, in the same context, this Singapore company, on the 12th of February, they write to the Director General of the Board of Investment and
12th of February this year?
Yes, 2019.
Yes,
it
correct.
says, "Dear Madam, this has reference to your letter dated the 30th of January 2019.
Yes.
We confirm and accept the condition laid down by the said letter, and we herewith attach a check for the amount of $400,000 plus VAT as reservation fee." Now, Mr. Rusiripala, how on earth can you send money to the BOI even before the approval has been given?
Yeah, that is one aspect for us. The other most important thing is, you are sending the money, what is the company that is remitting this money? Now, there is a confusion about so many companies involved in this. And finally, in the approval that is sought, in the cabinet memorandum that I referred to, that is 15th February 2019, please take a look at the bottom. They are seeking approval for the allocation of a further 400 acres. Further 400 acres.
So
what is the company? Please read that company.
To allocate additional 400 acres of land belonging to the Mahavali Authority on a lease basis based on the valuation of the government valuer to implement the 10 metric tons per annum petroleum refinery by Silver Park Petroleum Private Limited.
Now, this is some very, very important things for Faraz. These are the things that people will be, I mean, they are really bewildered as to what is happening in this. These things have been craftily done in such a manner, very deceptively done, to mislead anybody at any stage. Now, in the cabinet paper that I referred to, that is 15th February 2019, other than the approval that is sought, it refers to another company, a Singapore-based company, which was seeking the approval for 200 acres.
That's right. But in this cabinet memorandum presented by Malik Samaravikrama as the Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade, in the last paragraph it says there that the 400 acres, additional 400, it says very clearly to allocate additional 400 acres, not to your one that you're referring to, but to a company called Silver Park Petroleum Private Limited.
That's right.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our research indicates that Silver Park Petroleum was incorporated in Sri Lanka on the 21st of February 2019.
So that is long after the cabinet paper,
long
after the minister seeking the approval of the cabinet to allocate 400 additional acres. Now, this poses a very big question. When he says additional 400 acres, it confers that, an earlier allocation has been done. That is why it is additional.
And Mr. Rusiripala.
And to which company was that 200 acres allocated?
Absolutely. And the Singapore company is writing to the Board of Investment, referring to a letter in January 2019. And that means that this whole business has been negotiated with some blank entity. Because that entity, the legal entity, and they're doing business with the government of Sri Lanka, simply did not exist.
Faraz, other intriguing thing in this whole affair is, in the cabinet paper that I am talking of, that is memorandum of the 15th February 2019 by Malik Samaravikrama, you know, it refers to the project description as an investment as a joint venture between Silver Park International Private Limited Singapore and the Ministry of Oil and Gas in Oman.
Yes.
Now, this is what he states to the cabinet. And the allocation, the approval is sought to release the land to another company. My God, I don't know. I mean, this has been so, I don't know, for some reason, designed in such a way that anybody, unless you are in an investigative, incisive mind, you will fall into this trap now.
Now, according to this cabinet memorandum supplied by Malik Samaravikrama to his colleagues in cabinet, he's talking about the shareholding being 70% Silver Park International Private Limited of Singapore. Right?
Yes.
Which is also a newly formed company.
Correct.
Guy and Somachandra did that for Newsfirst.
Yes.
And they refer to a 70% shareholding there and a 30% to the Ministry of Oil and Gas, to the Sultanate of Oman.
Yes.
But the Sultanate of Oman officially have refuted any involvement in this project.
Yes.
The Minister of Oil of that country was a guest of honor in Sri Lanka, and on the 24th of March, which also happened to be the birthday of somebody. Now, on that day, he didn't say anything about the investment. He's quoted by the press as saying that Oman is excited about this project. Mr. Rusiripala, I put it to you. They are suppliers of crude oil. Any refinery opening anywhere would be a legitimate, another potential customer. So clearly they remain excited about it.
Faraz, besides this, you know, all this is true. I 100% agree with you on this confusion that is created by the invited guests. You know, this we have experienced. You know, we had somebody representing the Vauxhall company, the Volkswagen company, going and attending that seminar or session that was in Kuliapitia for the inauguration of that factory also. No? So these things we have experienced. That apart, there is another serious matter arising out of it. Now, the cabinet paper describes this as a project which involves a total investment of $3,850 million US. That means 3 billion. 3.8 billion US dollars. It's massive. It's massive. And now, if this is correct, and if already a land allocation of a block of land of 200 acres from the Mirijovila zone has been allocated for this project, now who gave the approval without the matter going through the BOI for this person, for this minister to submit this paper at this stage? Now, I'm asking, what can the BOI chairman, the current chairman, who is in place, appointed by His Excellency the President, make a statement and clear this air?
Absolutely.
He should do that. He must say where the BOI, what is the role the BOI has played in approving this project, to the extent that it has given the license to be eligible for an allocation of 200 acres of land from a Mahavali Authority owned land extent, which is dedicated for an industrial zone. Not for this purpose.
It's an industrial zone.
The land is running to about 50,000 acres, I think.
Right.
That's a huge land that has been allocated for industrial zone.
Right. So this is one of those projects.
This is one lot out of that.
Right.
Now, who gave that permission and to which company? And was it with the approval of the BOI that was done?
Right.
And if the BOI has not played a role, there is a huge racket involved in this, Faraz.
Mr. Rusiripala, very good analysis. Now I want you to look at page 2 of our so-called cabinet memorandum. Under the titling rationale, which is item 2. 2.4 says, the investment is from a Singapore registered company, past tense, and the Ministry of Oil and Gas of Sultanate of Oman is one of the equity participants with 30% equity.
Yeah.
Now that is, when you read that,
Yeah.
when another member of cabinet reads this, he will be under legitimate belief that this is actually true, that the minister who's putting this through has done his homework and he has checked out. But read what it says. It says the investment is from a Singapore registered company and the Ministry of Oil and Gas of Oman is one of the participants with 30%.
Yeah.
Right. Now it says here, Section 3, current status of the project.
Yeah.
The investors have established
Yes.
a company in Sri Lanka,
Yes.
past tense,
Yes.
Silver Park Petroleum Private Limited,
Yes.
and has initiated the preliminary blah blah blah.
That is where the complete deception has taken place, where by indicating to the cabinet that a company has already been established when in fact it was not registered with the registrar of companies. It's a serious offense. It's a serious offense that deserves to be, that's punishable for misleading the, now this cabinet.
Mr. Rusiripala, could you say that in Sinhalese for me?
No, can I
Yeah.
please say repeat, I have to
Yeah.
add some more.
Yeah.
You know, when a cabinet approves something for us,
Yeah.
it is from the president downwards.
Yeah.
Every member of the cabinet
Yeah.
is collectively responsible,
Yeah.
collectively responsible
Yeah.
to the public of this country,
Yeah.
to the parliament,
Yeah.
to the executive, to everybody.
Yeah.
That they are what they are doing is something legitimate, correctly informed, and then acceptable.
Yeah.
Now, all those factors in this particular instance are just fraudulent presentations.
You
I
used
should-
the word
I-
a long time ago on our program
Yes.
to describe the Prime Minister's statement that all debt will be paid by 2018. You said what?
I said boulder dash.
You said balderdash. Isn't this balderdash?
This is going beyond. Faraz, what we are seeing today, repeatedly one after the other,
Yeah.
there is a spell of corrupt activities, one following the other,
Yeah.
taking the whole cabinet for a ride,
Yes.
and then making people who are responsible embarrassed
Indeed.
about these activities.
Yeah.
They are being held responsible for no fault of theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, they are cabinet colleagues. When a paper is submitted, every word in that cabinet paper,
Yeah.
there is no further proof necessary when a cabinet paper is submitted for us. In this country, a cabinet paper goes through several ministerial secretaries, parliamentary secretaries,
Yeah.
who are permanent employees, other than these politicos who come
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah.
You know, they are permanent employees in this country who are answerable to the government, to the public.
Yes.
And those papers go through them.
Yeah.
They have been made, examined by them.
Yeah.
So I am at a loss to understand, where do we stand with regard to this? The bureaucracy behind this.
And the other thing to notice is that the investor themselves,
Yes.
the Singaporean
Yes.
company,
Yes.
Silver Park,
Yes.
they themselves, the
Yeah.
shareholders of that company,
Yeah.
have said
Yes.
that they have not even done their feasibility study, that they are a long way off, that this is just initial discussion. And then that is good enough on the 24th of March for this government to run along to Mirijavilla and lay down a foundation stone.
Whereas an investment of 3,850 million US dollars
Yeah.
is historically a milestone in this country. I mean, it's going to be a milestone investment. I don't think, if I remember correct, in the recent past, or at least going back to a number of years back even,
Yeah.
we have such huge investments coming in. You know, this proposal itself, you know, this type of, you ask for a piece of land for an agricultural project from the BOI.
Yeah.
The whole paraphernalia of examinations and investigations and studies
Yeah.
that are required to be gone through is massive. The BOI has a very wide role to play with so many departments involved,
Yeah.
in the BOI itself. to ascertain certain very important, legitimately required factors.
Yes.
Now, in this instance, what are those? What are those? This country should know how the BOI approved the project to enable, you know, the cabinet paper says something else,
yes,
to enable the prospective investor to proceed with the geographical, topographical requirements,
yes,
that we are allocating this 200 acres to expedite the project.
Yeah.
So that means the company has been accepted, the name of the investors should have been accepted,
yeah,
the proportion of their investment portfolio has been accepted,
yeah,
the manner in which the money or the foreign investment, how it comes in, has been accepted and ascertained.
yeah.
It is only after that an allocation of land can be made.
But here they've done it back to front.
No, they have done it to enable the person to progress with his topographical requirements, geographical requirements and other things,
Yeah.
you know, even before verification of these things.
Right.
So that is the question I asked at the beginning.
Yeah.
What has the BOI got to say about it? We demand a public statement from the BOI because the BOI is supposed to control.
Who is the chairman of the
The
BOI?
present chairman is a person appointed by the president himself.
The
Emerson
former
Fernando.
Yes, the former chairman of the People's
Bank.
Right.
So he can come forward and make a clarification. He can say this is the state of affairs. This is what the BOI has done. This is what the BOI has not done.
Yeah.
We deserve an explanation from him.
Yeah.
So therefore, these are public institutions. I mean, the chairman are nobody in those institutions.
Yeah.
They are bound to give explanations to the public.
Yeah.
In the interest of the public, in the interest of the public interest.
Right.
You see, they are bound to do that. That is their legal obligation. So therefore, I think the role we are playing, you and I,
yes,
we are only sounding this for the purpose of, you know, making things transparent. We don't want anything done hide and seek, no.
But there's a lot of things are being hidden here. The minister is talking in the past tense that this company has already been formed, and the company themselves, a similar sounding name from Singapore, is writing and saying they're sending $400,000.
Yeah.
How can you send all this money? For what? For what purpose is it?
And after
Is there
all,
some ulterior motive?
after laying of the foundation stone,
Yeah.
minister rushes to Oman. For what?
And what's the point? if the Omanis are going to be the participants in an equity stake of 30%, surely they should come here. Why are our ministers rushing around now?
No, beyond going here or there, there is the most important aspect of this is the BOI or the authorities allocating land to this project have gone on the basis of a joint venture investment of 70% and 30% between two parties.
Yeah.
Now at this stage, why are we running behind the prospective investors, the participants, joint venture participants, unless otherwise their names were just put in and they were not a party to that?
Well, that's clearly what the Oman government statement says.
That's a very serious thing. I mean, this is not a G2G project, Faraz. This is not a G2G project in the first event. This is a private thing.
It's a commercial project.
The government of Oman, if they have got involved in this project through their ministry,
yeah,
you know, that is only partially governmental.
Yeah.
As between their investor, participant, partner,
yes,
and them.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the Sri Lanka government and Oman government.
Right.
You must understand this.
Yeah, so why do you imagine that these two ministers have gone to Oman?
I think they found that there was something serious missing in this or lacking, or some exposure that has been made on this project which they did not expect to happen. Right. Now they are trying to cover up.
But we showed, Mr. Rusiripala, please, you're a director in a company where they've made investments in this country.
Yes.
They're foreign investments.
Yes.
But if we go to that corporate office of that investor,
yes,
I am sure that his officers will look like it's a legitimate business. It's an active business. It's all there. In the case of this Singaporean company, as our news footage showed the other day, this address is the address of a company that is a company formation agent.
Faraz, it is not only...
It is not demonstrably immediately obvious that this is a company that's investing 3.85 billion with a B, billion US dollars into Sri Lanka.
Whereas it is not only a question of establishing, you know, where the addresses and other things. The BOI specifically asks in their form, if I remember correct, in the forms that I am used to in submitting papers when we did investments, you know, they ask the experience of the foreign investor in the field and what his existing businesses are. And they ask for very specific information. So this information should be there on record.
Yes.
Now, if that has been bypassed for presentation of a cabinet paper to, I mean, completely mislead the entire cabinet for with some ulterior motive, if it is there, I mean, it's a very serious thing. It's a very serious thing, because it is not only just establishing the address or the email or whatever, you know, the telephone number.
But come on, Mrs. Rusiripala, 3.85 billion is not chicken feed.
No.
Right? The capital Maharaja is not 3.85 billion. We've got our own email addresses. Okay? We don't have to use a Gmail address. Come on. Yeah. It's a little bit pedantic, isn't it?
Definitely. Because if you go by what is laid down procedure for establishing a company, especially a BOI approved company, I am asking the BOI authorities, come and say if it is not so. You ask what the status of the investor is in specific terms, where they are, what they are worth, and what their capital base, all that they ask. In this instance, you have the names of companies, you begin with one name, you end up with another name for the approval sought. So,
a viewer is raising a valid question.
Yes.
Says to you, is asking you, can you rationalize why this duo has been sent to Oman? Malik Samaravikrama and Kabir Hashim. The viewer is pointing out that these two were involved in the breakfast meeting to do with the bond scam. They were present at the central bank at some meeting which normally is never done ahead of the bond scam. And so the viewer is asking, don't we ever learn a lesson? Why is it that these two people with a questionable record are being sent to Oman to represent our country? That's what they're asking.
Faraz, with respect to that, the view of the viewer, I would like to state that there is obviously a clique in operating in this country in very many fields, and it has more than on one occasion, several things have come to light about their mischief activities. So this is just another thing like that.
And another viewer says, it's the four musketeers all over again. Ranu, Malik, Kabir and Sagala. They should all be taken in by the CID. And another one says, this is all lies from somebody who we know as Boru Siya. I don't know who Boru Siya is. I don't know. Perhaps the viewer will send us a text and say who Boru Siya is.
I would like to say something, Faraz. While a large section of the masses of this country are struggling, you know, in economic misery, a small coterie and clique of people, you know, are struggling, are fighting among themselves, competing among themselves to improve their prosperity through corruption and fraud. This is the short and long of the...
Could you say that in Sinhalese for my Sinhalese?
මේ රටේ අති බහුතර ජනතාවක් බරපතල ආර්ථික පීඩාවලින් තැලී පොඩි වී සිටියදී අතලොස්සක් වූ ඉහළ පෙළේ දේශපාලනඥයින් කීප දෙනෙක් තමන්ගේ සම්පත් වැඩි දියුණු කර ගැනීමට දූෂණය හා වංචාව තුලින් බරපතල තරඟයක යෙදී සිටි.
Bravo. Mr. Rusiripala, tell me, please tell me, as citizen Rusiripala Tennakoon, with several years of service in public service, having worked in the People's Bank and so on, now then, please tell me, Mr. Rusiripala, as citizen Rusiripala, what do you think should happen to this minister who has clearly misled the entire cabinet?
Faraz, the issue is, there are many things that should happen to this minister and others who are associated with this type of activities. But from whom are we expecting justice? They are at the helm of affairs. They are,
Mr. Rusiripala, if in our company, in our group, if somebody sent such misleading information to the powers that be, Group HR would have had them out by now.
That is, you have a Group HR head who is working as a team to improve the...
So what's the Prime Minister doing? He's the head of this team.
They are all allowing this type of things to continue under a policy strategy that they believe in. You know, under this neoliberalism. They want this type of things to happen. That is, this confusion is helping them to continue their affairs, irrespective of disregarding the public concern.
Do you say that the minister should be sent home?
Obviously. He should resign in these. How many times that we pointed out, Faraz?
How do you say that in Sinhalese?
මේ වගේ කරුණු ඉදිරිපත් වෙනකොට නීතියක් ක්‍රියාත්මක වීමේ අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ. මේ ඇමතිවරු සිය තනතුරු වලින් ඉල්ලා ස්වී ගෙදර යා යුතුයි. ආත්ම ගෞරවය බිඳක්වත් තිබේ නම්, if there is a bit of consciousness, self-conscious, I mean, they should get out. They should get out, and in the name of that conscience, they must get out.
I was at a funeral house yesterday, and I was told that it is wrong for the media to take a dig at the entire political system.
I don't know who
I was told.
Who else you should take a dig at? If you don't...
They took umbrage with our network and us and said, what are you doing? What are you doing?
If the media of this country is not taking a dig at the politicians, whom do the people like that expect you to dig at? I mean, this is absurd. We want the media. Our claim is the role that the media is playing is not sufficient and adequate. They should play a more dynamic exposures, because the situation is so bad in the country. If not for the media, nothing will come out. People will be in the dark. People will be taken up the garden path. People will be deceived. One incident after the other, they will continue to be deceived. Only the media can save us. I'm very firm in my commitment about that. Let them say anybody. How else are we to know? How else? There is no other way. It's the free media that can educate us. It's the free media that can tell us the truth. It is the free media that can take the
by the horns.
No. And if there is any responsibility arising out of these things, it is only the media that can take it up, not the individual people.
Rusiripala Tennakoon, thank you very much for being on Newsline and for talking about this very important potential fraud that's going on. I don't know why, but it doesn't sound rational. You issuing this thing to a company that doesn't exist. What is the legality of the standing of that whole nonsense of all this? Because the cabinet, that's only a memorandum, right? There's no approval. There's no approval from the BOI for this. And then they're accepting $400,000 just for the for the tanks,
Yeah.
the storage tanks.
Yeah.
And that's 200 acres and another 400. And it's all a bit of a complete kolapang here.
I think His Excellency the President will have to take a very serious look at these affairs.
When a serious look, does it include sacking the minister?
It includes not only sacking, a perfect, very careful investigation into the matter, because Mahavali Authority land is coming under his purview.
And there you said it.
The land that is allocated to this project and future projects that are yet to come in that zone are all lands belonging to the Mahavali Authority of Sri Lanka, which comes under the purview of the President. He cannot one day say, I did not know this.
Well, thank you very much. The last and final one, the viewer has said that it's Borussia. He's told me that Borussia is somebody who celebrated his birthday on the 24th, he says Sia because he reached the age of 70, and Mangala Samaravira said long time ago that, you know, if when he reaches 70, he will retire because he doesn't want to be a Sia in politics. Well, there you go, around 70. Rusiripala Tenakun, thank you very much. Do watch News First, because we will bring you all the latest updates as we did on previous corruption cases, and we will bring it to you with fact and a conspicuous absence of fiction. News First, we serve the people, you. Take care, have a great day, a wonderful week ahead, and God bless you.
Newsfirst Newsline with Faraz.